What's going on, guys? This is Burrs, and I'm back with another episode of my concealed carry journey. As you saw in the previous episodes, I moved back to Pennsylvania, where I lived for a long time, majority of my life, and got my concealed carry permit again after being in Maryland for a while, which I did not have a concealed carry permit in. So now we're going to talk about the gun that is my concealed carry gun on this episode of Concealed Carry Journey. Instead of waiting until I'm fully extended, I can take the shot right around here. So that's what I'm going to work on. Alright, so let's go through this really quick. Obviously you saw the previous episodes, you can kind of see what I'm rolling with as far as like the holster. You saw the gun in those videos, but let's go through the actual specifics of this gun. Let me take it down and I'll show you. So let's get down to the specifics here as to what is done to this Glock. This Glock started out as a Glock 19 Gen 3. And I sent it over to Light Fighter Innovations, and they went ahead and did a bunch of work to it as far as the frame goes. And they did some stippling, which is the sprinkle stipple. I have a video on that review. And then they cut in some gas pedals in the front, as you can see here. And that basically just gives the ability to have a ledge to rest your thumb on when you have your grip on there. So had that done, and then you can see there's undercuts on the bottom here. So you have an undercut right here, and then there's a little cut right here with some stippling for grip and for the ability to get your hand up as high as possible as far as the purchase goes. So had that done, really like that a lot. Moving on to, I guess, the slide now. This is Jagerwerks. I did the work on this one. You can see there's some window openings. I believe this is called the breacher cut, and has a top part here that has a window, and then on the front the chamfers, which means that it's not a to kind of cut some edges on the front here so it doesn't look square, and then the serrations on the front, and the RMR cut on the back. And the RMR is an RM09 Type 2. So the Type 2 means that it's the new version of the RMR, and the Type 1 wasn't originally made for like slides, pistol slides. There's a lot of inertia and force going on with the slides, and people were putting their RMRs on there, and they were kind of flickering out, maybe not doing the best of jobs. So some companies came out and made plates to put between your RMR and your slide, which I have that, and just to keep the battery more in place. And that seemed to resolve it, but Trijicon wanted to come out and fix that in general, so they beefed up the battery compartment so that all the jostling with using this on a pistol wouldn't affect the illumination of the dot going in and out. So this is a Type 2 RM09. Heine straight 8 sights. Those are just standards as far as all my Glocks go. Love those. These are the straight 8 suppressor height sights. Moving on to the trigger. This is a SSVI tier trigger, and it's a nice smooth acting trigger. Can't say anything bad about it whatsoever. It works well, and definitely is a lot smoother than the stock trigger. Moving on to the slide, the internals, I have a ISMI chrome silicone flat recoil spring. I was a proponent of not changing this out for the longest time, and just sticking with the plastic one that comes with the Glocks. And I use this for a couple thousand rounds now, never had an issue. And I think it's just a good thing to have this. It's not going to break. The stock one from Glock will break from time to time, and I just wanted to eliminate that possibility, so this is pretty good insurance. And then moving on to the barrel, this is a CMC Triggers match barrel, and it's fluted, so you lose a little bit of weight, and you know, just looks cooler. So I mean, that's what it's all about, right? So CMC Triggers match barrel. I've been using that for a while. Like it. I have used other ones in the past. Probably my favorite one, and the one that I'm like, if you had to spend the money on a barrel, I would 100% say get a True Precision. This is a True Precision with their like rainbow coating on it, and this barrel by far is probably the one you want to go with if you're going to buy one and put the money down and get one. Just Now I have used other ones in the past, like Wilson Combat. Have used that one. It's good. And then you have the stock one. I've used Silencer Co., Grey Ghost Precision, but in the end, I would say if you gotta spend the money, I would check out True Precision. The only other thing on the slide that I have changed out here is the safety plunger. I have an Apex safety plunger, which will smooth out your trigger pull a little bit more, and it's replacing a MIM part, metal injected part, with a CNC machine part. So you can never go wrong with that, so I do have that changed out. It's like a $15 part. So other than that, everything else is stock on this Glock, and let's get talking about the light. So you've seen me in the past talk about a lot of different lights, and I'm a big fan of the Streamlight series and Surefire. Streamlight came out this TLR7, and initially it kind of sucked in my opinion. And the reason it sucked is because of the actuation. But they just came out the TLR7A, and it has the actuation fixed. It has this nice switch that you can do momentary with, or you can just turn it on. So they fixed this, and it's no longer like some weird funky thing on the side you have to push this way, which doesn't line up with a standard modern firing grip. So I'm using this, and then using it with a Tenacore holster. And today I actually just made some changes to this, where the bar here that kind of has some belt tensioning, so when you have your gun in your pants, and they have different size bars, so you can see this one's the largest one, which is why I changed that to today. And what that does is the larger you go, the more, say the gun's kind of in your pants like this, if you increase this bar, the belt pushes against that bar, and it'll move the gun in towards your body a little closer. So I changed that out to the largest one today, and then I moved these belt clips up slightly to get a deeper carry. And that's how I'm rocking it now. This is kind of like the config I got going on for my appendix carry, and it's working out well for me. Finally, I have an Agency Arms Magwell. This is a pretty low profile, and as you can see, it definitely does open up as far as the ability to put a magazine in there, and it gives you a little bit more space to make some nice quick moves as far as your magazine changes, and not missing the magwell. But in the end, practice makes perfect, so make sure you practice, and you'll be better at it, even if you don't have a magwell. It's not a necessity to have a magwell, but if you can get one, I'd recommend getting one that's a low profile, and this Agency Arms is definitely one of those. That is the gun that I'm going to be using, or I have used. That's the setup. Those are the items I've used to get my gun together. And if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. If you guys have a Glock 19 or whatever your carry gun is, go ahead and put down in the comments down below, things that you've used and that you've come to, find that work very well for you. I would preface that with at least 1,000 rounds through them. So if you change out something on your gun, comment about it only if you have at least 1,000 rounds through it, and maybe you've gone to a training class with it, not just going to the range and putting some tin cans up and shooting some tin cans. Actually going to training courses, running that gun, changing magazines out, ramming the slide back and forth, going through training. Comment with your stuff with that, not so much, hey, I just bought this, I put this part on, I went to the range and shot a box of ammo and it works. It might work for the rest of the time you have it, but more than likely you might have a problem. So the best way is really to get 1,000 rounds through it or more, whatever part you have, to verify. And that's why you might see these on my social media posts, but you don't see a review yet, because I don't feel like I've gotten enough time with them to review them in a video. So on my social media I might say, hey, I'm testing out this barrel, I'm testing out this trigger or whatever, but you don't see a review yet because I just don't feel like I have the amount of rounds through it that I want to have through it to get a good feel. So if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know, and stay tuned for the next episode in my concealed carry journey.